the basic office programs, that will not be enough today. Okay, no longer adequate in today's teaching demands. And therefore, we need to upgrade ourselves more than knowing these personal productivity tools. And that's why we shift our competence from just being computer competent. In other words, we need to bring this to our curricular instruction more than our own selves, or making our work faster with the use of computer. It must lead to our classrooms. That's why there is this International Society for Technology Integration, International Society for Technology in Education. It's a society task to come up with literacy standards for teachers. And this is the current one. They have upgraded this over several years already. And there are different standards based on whether you're a teacher, whether you are a computer science teacher, and an administrator, and even a coach. This came into existence because of a project in the United States known as Preparing Tomorrow's Teachers to Use Technology, or the PT3 project. And out of that, they came up with the IST NETS, National Educational Technology Standards. So you try to examine now yourself whether am I already addressing some of the domains mentioned in the standards. So this is just a big picture again of the NET standards. So dapat marunong daw tayo nito, or we are already doing this. And the reason why we had the NET standards is because the world is changing, the kids are different, learning is different too, and therefore this would require now a different set of skills coming from the teachers. Now, they have come up with a long list of performance profile. What I'm going to show will just be the 5 domains. So you can visit the site, and then you look into the different skills that all of the teachers, whether you're teaching from preschool down to the tertiary level, whether you have it or you need to further improve yourself with those domains. So the first domain here says that you should model digital age work and learning. So this is the first level, computer competency, marunong ng office operations, knows in the internet navigation. So that's the basic thing. Next, you must be able to develop and design learning activities and assessment. Authentic assessment as it is related to technology. So if you're using technology now, just for your own self, making my grades, making my, let's say, creating my handouts so that I can give it to my students, sending it via email, that's the first stage. But if you're able to bring in learning experiences now in the classroom, that's the second one, which is what we call digital age learning. The third domain now talks about that the design of your lesson should be able to be implemented in the classroom. So a while ago, you were a learning designer. This time, you are already a facilitator of learning. Are you able to bring this already in your class, in the actual teaching learning experiences? That's the facilitate and inspire student learning and creativity. The fourth one talks about that you should have a continuous engagement in terms of your professional growth and leadership. Are you enrolling yourself, let's say, in either informal or formal training on ICT-based programs in your previous experience, or and let's say, are you willing to upgrade yourself in terms of training being offered by the university in terms of ICT-based training programs? So that's the fourth one. The fifth one is to promote and model digital citizenship and responsibility. So I'm also proud to say that last year, the center was in charge of educational technology in the university, offered the Safe Assign, or the anti-plagiarism seminar last year, where we can already detect plagiarism in the submitted assignments to our students. So I'll discuss that later on. But that is one of the many facets of the fifth domain on digital citizenship and responsibility. Now all of this, the ISC net standards, is the framework by which the activities of the Ethics Center is based on. All our training programs are actually anchored on the ISC standards so that we are able to address the different domains. In terms of the ICT in academia, not necessarily with the University of Santo Tomas, we can say that there are about two types of approaches. One is learning about computers, and the other one is learning with computers. So Womong here is teaching computer science from ICS, Institute of Information and Computing Studies, is the new name now. Anybody from engineering? ICS? Yes ma'am, ICS. Engineering, teaching computer subjects. ECE subject. What about those teaching computer subjects per se? Computer po. Yes sir. Sir, ano pa tinuturo dito? Na subject? Dissent. History of the course title. 1024, what college? College of Science. Okay, so those who are teaching computers as the core subject, then this is your approach. That's teaching about computers. But most of us here who are teaching with our subject area, with a particular topic in mind, let's say social studies and so on, then this is where we are, learning with computers. So when we say about, that means computer literacy is isolated to other subject areas, and the purpose is for us to make good or be better in terms of producing our, let's say, instructional materials, scholarly and professional productivity. Now with computers, this is what we mean by curriculum technology integration. This is where most of us in this room belongs. So you have your subject area, and you have a venue now to deliver the lesson that you have designed, either in a face-to-face classroom or in a virtual learning environment. Okay. Now, let me add a word before, in between. A while ago I asked which one integrates technology. This time, we have two different pictures. Both are using SmartWord. Can you say yes? Yes, tama? Okay. By adding one more word. Is it hard to answer? Right now, if you insert another word, because the answer here is, it depends. Because we've not seen the learning design of the lesson. Just by looking at it, we don't know. So, in other words, when you visit the class, the teacher is using a computer, and someone is observing you, it's not enough that you just look into the window and you're happy that somebody is using, technology in class. So you must be able to look into the learning design, whether or not it is well integrated. So, who are math teachers here? Sino po yung nagtuturo ng math? Math subject. So let's say I'm a math teacher and I'm going to discuss something about, or I'm going to give an exercise about problem solving. And this time, I'm going to use now desktop computer. My topic is a geometry theorem allergic tayo dyan, no? Yung mga math-phobic, ano ba yan? Kaya ako nga iniwasan yan. So, the sum of the three angles in a triangle is always 180 degrees. Sa mga math teachers, if we're going to do this traditionally without the aid of technology, how long do we teach this? Kung naalala nyo dati, gusto lang paintindi sa atin to. The sum of the angles of the triangle is always equal to 180 degrees. Ano papagawa sa atin? Drawing as many triangles and try to measure it. And it will always be equal to 180 degrees. Wala namang masama dun. It's because it's discovered learning. However, it says here that sometimes technology has a way to make things faster. And this is what you will do in order to maximize its use. So gagamitin mo daw siya in those particular moments that you will be able to address educational needs and problems, this time in a much faster way. So assuming now, instead of using the traditional drawing, we'll be using an exploration software. Okay, so instead of a paper, we have here a sketch pad. So you have your student making a triangle, constructing the segments. Now we need to measure now the first angle, or label it for the meantime. Okay, let's try to measure now. Angle A is 7 to 8 degrees. Second angle is 45. And the third is 57. So let's try to make a computation, calculate the three angles now. And it's going to end up with 180 degrees. So the answer is 180. So we need to prove it further. We need to move the triangle now in different directions and let's see if it's changing in terms of the total amount. It's not. The angles are changing in terms of its measurement, but the sum is always equal to 180 degrees. So this is now the moment wherein technology best fits instruction. But I'm not saying that the traditional way has no place in your class. So it depends on how you design your learning activities. So what does it mean to integrate technology, particularly in the university? So going back now, which one integrates technology here? Again, in another example, I have here two tertiary educators. Both are showing the same video in class. Which one integrates technology in an effective way? What's our answer? It depends, because we have not seen the learning design. So let's now move into the second teacher. This is the video that is showing to class.
Welcome to the Palm Cloud, the one device that puts more things in the palm of your hand than you ever thought possible. Phone, email, full internet browsing, built-in camera, video, MP3 player, GPS navigation. And that's just the beginning. Explore the pomegranate and see what sets it apart from everything else. eraser that's built right into your smartphone. Once you start using it, you'll wonder how you ever live without it. The pomegranate eliminates the need for a separate shaver. And since it's always with you, you can shave whenever you want. If you're really in a rush, you can even talk and shave at the same time. Would you like to see another feature? Or have you seen everything before? A fresh cup of coffee from your smartphone. Yes, it's finally possible. Just insert one of our single brew packets, and the pomegranate takes it from there. Choose a flavor. The pomegranate comes with a special holder for convenient hands-free coffee making. Total brew time is 30 seconds. It's the ultimate in mobile coffee making. Colombian. Good choice. Would you like to see another feature? Or have you seen it? The pomegranate isn't just about work, it's also about fun. And what's more fun than a phone you can play? Just when the day is starting to drag, break out the pomegranate harmonica. You can play along with preset beats, or go freestyle. No other phone in the world plays like the pomegranate. Would you like to see another feature? Or have you seen everything? Instantly speak any language you choose with the Global Voice Translator. Just talk into the front of the pomegranate, and the language of your choice is spoken from the speaker in the rear. Go ahead, give it a try. Click on the letters GVT. The Global Voice Translator includes 50 languages, so you can communicate in virtually any country in the world. How's the project going? Thank you. You want to speak from God? With the Global Voice Translator, language is never a barrier. Would you like to see another feature? Pomegranate's built-in projector can play anything in widescreen format. Simply move the screen and it projects. What would you like to project? Watch movies at full HD resolution with the pomegranate. It's like having a home theater in your hands.
Were you amused? Would you like to buy the phone? Okay, so if you will just be settled with just being amused, then I'm not effective in terms of using this as a tool for teaching and learning. So if the scenario is simply to catch your attention without linking it to a particular subject or a topic, then it becomes unintegrated. However, if there is a particular direction So for instance, I'm going to use this in my subject that I teach. I have a ready-made case scenario, for instance. Then I have instructions for my students to do. So we're talking now of environmental effects or impacts during production, consumption, till the disposal phases of this gadget. And then students will come up with their earth-friendly decision. So from production, consumption, up to disposal. Okay, so if you now go back to the nitty-gritty of the learning design, the big idea of the lesson that I'm talking about is about solid waste management and disposal. And at the end of the activity, I want the students to understand that solid waste as are wasted resources or hazardous waste materials that we should not create at all in the first place. So this is what we mean by curriculum technology integration. Now to define this further, just to give you a review, so it's a combination of the processes and tools addressing a particular needs and problems. So these educational needs and problems will depend on the context that you are teaching, the kind of content, whether it's a fact, a process, a principle, a procedure. In terms of our skills, it is developmental. When you go to your classroom right now or after this session, it doesn't mean that just by attending one seminar, it means you are very, well adapted by it. You should be able to master skills prior to moving on to more advanced skills. In other words, it would take time for some. What's important is that you have the drive, the passion to continue to improve on yourself. When we integrate technology, we can also look at the learning cycle. It says here that you can integrate in all stages of the learning process, whether to use it for introduction, for reinforcement, for supplement, and to extend skills. This is what I mean about by the pedagogical cycle. However, it is unfortunate that most college instructors do not pass through the entire cycle. So they just go here, pagpasok sa classroom, they will now pass through this anymore and will try to go directly into introduce knowledge. After ng lecture, review, then assessment. That's a very unfortunate situation. So sinasabi sa technology integration, there are uses for technology at a specific point. You can use it for motivation, you can use it to build prior knowledge, you can use it for assessment, you can use it for delivering the knowledge itself, like what I'm doing right now. So I'm using technology to maybe reinforce it to you since you already know a lot of this, or if this is the first time, then I'm introducing the knowledge. So what about the University of Santo Tomas? How do we now prepare you to effectively integrate technology? And therefore, I'm glad to introduce that we are introduced to you Educational Technology Center. We're glad to be invited here. We are the service unit of the university, whose purpose is to enhance the academic and religious education of the Tomasian community in the appropriate integration of instructional media, ICT, and emerging technologies for a globally recognized Catholic education. We are located at the second floor of Miguel de Benavides Library. Within this year, we'll be transferring to our new building, 12th floor, Buenaventura Paredes OP building, the one that is being constructed right now near the church. Now, how can EdTech assist you to become effective users of technology? We'll be introducing now to you our programs. So we conduct faculty development training on technology integration. These are just some of the proceedings for several years already. So this is our university-wide training programs. Teachers go there to participate in the training. Now, for you to be able to know the training programs that are offered, Then we have about 19 coordinators assigned to different colleges. So kailangan alamin po natin kung sino sila because they are the linkages so that you'll be able to know the training programs being offered at a particular month. So what are these EdTech training programs? So we have jazzing up your lecture presentations. We have tablet for teachers, and then upcoming training seminars on instructional videos, instructional multimedia production. Our flagship program right now is Rapid E-Learning Course Development. And for those who are into fully online courses, we have a separate training for them, the instructional design for web-based instruction. It's also our honor to inform you that the Educational Technology Center is a UNESCO Bangkok ICT and Education Resource Distribution and Training Center. So, a few months from now, we'll be able to invite you again to participate here, wherein we give free UNESCO digital tools to all our attendees. So I hope I will see you in the UNESCO training. As well, another good news that we need to tell the new faculty members is that the Educational Technology Center is awarded in an international competition in the Blackboard Catalyst Award 2014 winner in staff development. So we'll be receiving the award in Las Vegas, Nevada in July 15. So it means that our training program is being recognized worldwide and accepted by e-learning professional organizations. Okay, so we want you to be part of this endeavor of the university. Another good news that we want, if you're very interested with technology, we will have another program. We call this a certificate program in educational technology. It's an 18-unit course. The target recipients would be in-service K-12 teachers, college instructors, technology coordinators, curriculum specialists, and even those that are training professionals. So we have here 18 units, about 6 subjects. Educational 101, the one you have heard a while ago, portion of that will be discussed in EdTech 101. We have 102, designing instruction, this technology-based instruction. 103, if you're interested in using internet technologies in the classroom. 104 is designing online courses. 105, if you would like to create technology-based instructional materials. 106, if you want to create standalone multimedia products. So again, it will be offered and your coordinators will inform you if you can already attend it. Now for you to really be serious about it, there are some what we call building blocks that you must possess. First and foremost, you must go back to your learning theories. You must know about the view of your learner. You should have a knowledge of instructional design. And you must know how to implement it in a real classroom. So we call this technology integration models. So we have 3 ways. We have teacher-centered approach, what I'm doing right now. We have the student-centered approach and team-centered approach. Okay, so this is the usual means that we deliver our information. Excuse me, can I drink water for a while? So how UST is ready for the structure. So we have multimedia classrooms. This classroom is actually one of the AMD classrooms. We also have webinars that we conduct. So it can be one-way interaction or it can be collaborative in nature. Okay, I have 5 minutes. Student-centered, where you give tutorials, simulations, instructional games to your students. We have computer laboratories. And for team-centered approach, where you assign group projects, we have the Wi-Fi login system. So this is just a scenario where you can give projects to your students. I'll just skip this for a while. And for those of you who would like to become digital content developers, then edTech Center can also assist you in designing online and offline resources. So at this point, we're proud to say that the University of Santo Tomas is the only university in the Philippines who's integrating e-learning in an institutional-wide implementation. It was recognized in the 2013 International Conference on E-Learning in the Philippines. So I'm not saying other universities are not doing e-learning, but we don't do it sporadically. We use it, we utilize e-learning from our high school to our graduate school to our medical school. This is not just an initiated activity of one department. So we are using Blackboard Learning Management System, also being used by other renowned universities in the world. So for you to have a course site of your own, first and foremost, you must attend the Rapid e-learning training. Then you can request for a course site. This is the point of view of the student. So for them, they need to log in their username and password. You will also be given that, I think using the first letter of your name, your middle initial, and then your surname. Also, last year we launched the Blackboard Mobile. Students are able to access their course materials in their tablets or in their smartphones. So for a procedure in your end, your EdTech coordinator will facilitate your username, initial, password. Then it's either they will lead you to sign up in the course site creation, or they will do that for you. These are some of the course pages, something that you can customize. You can present course information. You can provide faculty information. What time is the consultation period? You can give course updates. Course calendars are also integrated. It is given here with different colors so that the students would know which subject is giving a particular announcement. You can give class notes or handouts. Your PDF, your PowerPoint presentation can be uploaded here. You can also integrate course links for multimedia materials. Open right now. It's not connected. Anyway, you can integrate movies, you can integrate animations inside. You can assign group projects, recitation, individual and group assignment, online exams in different test options. The traditional true or false, multiple choice, fill in the blanks. We have here multiple fill in the blanks. We have hotspots. So those that you cannot do in written exams, questions are randomized. So even if they are seated side by side each other, if you have a big database of questions, so it will minimize cheating. Not only questions are randomized, even the choices of the multiple choice will also randomize. So this is where you'll see the grade center. Now for you who are interested to do offline activities, You can also create your own instructional materials with us, beside our full-blown learning objects, instructional videos, and documentary films. These are some of the materials that we have created in collaboration with the faculty.
Extraordinary. Such is the Philippines. Learning. Knowing someone begins with knowing them physically. The Philippines is an archipelagic country. What if a landform is not completely surrounded by... When it comes to the highest terrestrial point, the southern part of the country rules supreme. At 2,954 meters, Mount Apo of Mindanao lords over the rest of the country. Philippine Fiesta is a come one, come all event.
Okay, so that's an option for you if you would like to create your own instructional materials. And then you will now be working with different persons with multiple talents, and you come with us. Okay, we call this the iMedia production team. And this is where you are if you're going to become part of the Educational Technology Center in designing your own material. So as a summary, integration model should be based in both learning theory and teaching practice. It should match our teaching and specific needs, or learning needs. Our own integration models, our traditional way of teaching, they are not bad. We still can use them in our classroom, but we should also maximize the use of these new strategies, okay, to be able to teach better in our classrooms, whatever the subject is. Just to share with you a quotation from Dr. Craig Barrett: "Computers aren't magic, teachers are." So what spells the difference is actually your learning design in your own classroom. So once again, we would like to thank you for listening to us for the Educational Technology Center. If you're interested, you can log in at elib.usd.edu.ph. Just browse around. And this is the course, the learning management system wherein we develop or we deploy our courses. So once you have a course site, you'll be able to log in here. For the meantime, you need to sign up for the training. Okay, so once again, thank you very much.